forest gasped before the scream came. Branches shivered in the wind as Daniel said, "Something stirs above us." The canopy groaned, trembling like a body about to snap. Amelia whispered, "It's too quiet." Fear dripped heavy as the silence broke. Suddenly a monkey shrieked, its cry ripping through the jungle like a knife. The leopard surged upward, claws carving bark faster than fear could run. Jacob said, "It climbs like fire chasing air." Leaves exploded under its weight, raining down fragments of green death. The monkey leapt, but the branches betrayed it. Amelia shouted, "It can't escape!" The predator's golden eyes burned with hunger, each muscle tightening like a drawn bow. The forest itself held its breath as predator and prey danced on thin, breaking limbs. The monkey's scream tore again, echoing across the treetops, pleading with a sky that would not answer. Daniel said, "The law of the wild has spoken." And nature, merciless and eternal, watched without pity. The storm pressed heavier now, drowning the air in damp weight. Amelia whispered, "It's still alive, I think." Daniel said, "Alive, but hunted." The monkey scrambled across thin branches, each step cracking under betrayal. Jacob muttered, "Every step writes its death." Lightning tore the sky, its light exposing the predator's shadowed grace. The leopard's body flowed upward like smoke-given claws. The jungle answered with silence, as if bowing to violence it could not stop. Amelia clutched her chest, her breath shallow, as though the monkey's screams were tearing her lungs. Daniel said, "The forest decides who stays, not us." Rain carved rivers across their faces as they watched prey and predator etch their fate into the night. The monkey's limbs quivered as it swung desperately. The storm roared louder, drowning its cries yet amplifying them within the heart. Amelia whispered, "It won't last much longer." Daniel said, "Survival is measured in seconds." Jacob's voice broke, but seconds are enough to change everything. The leopard's claws slashed again, tearing bark into scars that would remain long after blood dried. The jungle floor below promised no safety, only harder death. Every leaf shook, each raindrop catching sparks of lightning. Amelia gasped, "It's cornered." Daniel said, "It's already judged." The canopy groaned, and the forest felt like it would collapse under the weight of this hunt. The lightning cracked close, searing the canopy in pure white fire. The monkey screamed once more, a ragged, broken plea. Amelia covered her mouth, trembling, whispering. "It sounds human," Daniel said. "It sounds alive." Jacob's eyes hardened, his jaw set. Alive doesn't mean safe. The leopard lunged again, its form striking like a blade forged from hunger. Bark exploded, scattering fragments through the rain. The monkey swung wildly, barely finding a grip, body thrashing like a torn flag in a storm. The forest quaked under violence. Amelia whispered, "Why must it suffer so long?" Daniel's voice low, because nature does not hurry its cruelty. The chase reached its edge, a moment balanced on the knife of fate. The monkey's chest heaved, eyes burning with terror, yet clinging to life. Amelia whispered, "It can't hold." Daniel said, "No branch holds forever." The leopard crouched low, body twitching like a coiled storm ready to strike. Jacob muttered, "This is the final moment." Leaves shredded down, rain falling harder like a curtain sealing destiny. The monkey leapt, the leopard surged, and the forest screamed with them. For one heartbeat, they seemed suspended together, predator and prey carved into the same violent sky. Then gravity decided, dragging them into truth. The forest slowed its violence, yet the echoes of the scream lingered like a ghost. The monkey clung to a branch, chest heaving, eyes wide. Amelia whispered, "It fights still." Daniel said, "Every breath is defiance." Jacob muttered, "But defiance is fragile." Rain softened, dripping steady like a drumbeat. The canopy quivered, scarred by claw marks etched into living wood. The monkey trembled, its thin limbs weak but unwilling to let go. Amelia pressed her palm to her lips, whispering, "It's so small, yet it holds the weight of the forest. Daniel's voice was steady but hollow. That is survival. It asks more than it gives. The predator's shadow lingered, unseen but felt, as though the jungle itself breathed in sync with the hunted. Amelia's eyes glistened as she murmured, "This is why it matters. This fragile life." Jacob said, "The forest chooses who carries tomorrow." Lightning cracked again, and the monkey's trembling became the heartbeat of the night. The monkey's fragile breath sounded louder than thunder to Amelia's heart. She whispered, "I can almost feel its fear." Daniel's voice low, "Fear keeps it alive." Jacob said, "But fear can also betray." The branch sagged under weight, threatening collapse. Each droplet of rain was a nail in a coffin waiting to close. The monkey looked outward, searching for another branch, another chance. Its eyes held more than terror, they held refusal. Amelia trembled, whispering, "It wants to live so badly." Daniel said, "That's what makes it real to us." The leopard remained hidden, its silence more dreadful than its roar. Jacob muttered, "Predators need no sound when death is certain." The jungle swayed, trees bending in wind, as if bowing to unseen judgment. Amelia's voice cracked, "Why do I feel like I'm watching myself?" Daniel said, "Because its struggle is ours, written in fur and bone." The forest seemed to mourn, every creak of wood like a lament. The monkey huddled low, its tiny body shivering with exhaustion. Amelia whispered, "It looks so tired." Daniel said, "Tired is not the same as broken." Jacob muttered, "But breaking waits close." The air grew heavy, thick with the musk of rain and fear. The monkey's gaze lifted, staring into storm clouds as though begging the sky itself. Amelia wiped her tears, whispering, "Why does it matter to me so much?" Daniel's voice deep, "Because its survival tells us we still matter too." The leopard's shadow moved, unseen yet undeniable, an ever-present reminder of doom. Jacob said, "Even in the storm, predators wait." The monkey pressed claws tighter into the branch, refusing to fall. Amelia murmured, "It still hopes." Daniel whispered, "Hope is the cruelest strength." Lightning flashed again, and the canopy looked like a stage lit for tragedy. The monkey's scream had faded into whimpers, but its heartbeat seemed to echo through the rain. Amelia whispered, "It doesn't stop even when it has no strength left." Daniel said, "That's why it lives." Jacob muttered, "But life is not mercy, it's death." The branch wavered under storm gusts, bending dangerously. The monkey clung, body frail but refusing release. Amelia pressed closer to Daniel, whispering, "It carries the weight of every fragile thing." Daniel's voice low, the wild measures all life by its weakest link. The leopard's shadow appeared faint in the distance, golden eyes catching lightning for a moment. Amelia gasped softly, "It's still watching." Jacob said, "It will always watch until the end." Rain fell harder, each drop sharp like arrows piercing the canopy. Amelia whispered, "I want it to survive." Daniel's answer was grim, "Then pray the forest agrees." The storm calmed for a breath, and silence pressed heavy. The monkey stared outward, eyes glassy but alive. Amelia whispered, "It still believes." Daniel said, "Belief doesn't stop teeth." Jacob muttered, "No, but it slows surrender." The canopy sagged, water pouring in streams, yet the monkey clung. Its body shook violently, but its claws dug deeper, holding with desperate strength. Amelia's chest rose fast, whispering, "It has no reason to keep fighting, but it does." Daniel's voice cracked, "That's what makes it everything." Jacob's tone grew solemn, "The jungle crowns survivors, not victims." The leopard stepped closer, silent grace parting branches with menace. Amelia said, "Then let it be crowned." Lightning cracked above, framing predator and prey in one merciless portrait. Daniel whispered, "And so the story tightens its grip." The forest no longer whispered, it roared. Branches cracked like bones breaking under invisible weight. The monkey shrieked, its voice raw, refusing silence. Amelia whispered, "Every sound is a plea for one more second." Daniel's eyes narrowed. Seconds are currency, and the forest is greedy. Jacob muttered, "Greed never runs out here." The leopard moved closer, muscles flexing, each motion precise, merciless. Lightning slashed the sky, painting predator and prey in savage theater. The monkey lunged across to a thinner branch, body trembling as it landed. Amelia's voice broke. "It risks everything with every leap." Daniel said, "But risk is survival." Jacob growled, "Risk is also death's hand." The wind surged, carrying the leopard's scent across the canopy. The monkey froze, nostrils flaring, terror spreading like wildfire. Amelia whispered, "It knows." Daniel's voice was low. "Every creature knows when it has been chosen." The storm beat harder, and so did fear. The canopy shook as if caught between fury and fear. The monkey clung desperately, claws scratching bark for purchase. Amelia gasped. "It has no ground beneath it, only falling." Daniel said, "Falling is always closer than survival." Jacob's tone was grave, and survival never waits. The leopard crouched low, tail whipping side to side, muscles a storm waiting to break. Amelia's fingers dug into Daniel's arm, her voice trembling. "It's too close." Daniel whispered, "Closeness is the edge of life and death." The monkey's chest heaved as it scanned wildly for escape, eyes wide like lanterns of panic. Jacob said, "It's a matter of which breaks first, the branch or its spirit." Thunder crashed so close the ground seemed to shudder. Amelia whispered, "Please, let it hold." Daniel's jaw clenched. The forest doesn't bargain. The storm raged louder, drowning even the cries of life clinging to fragile wood. The monkey leapt again, claws scraping as branches splintered. Amelia cried softly, "Every jump is its last prayer." Daniel said, "Prayers are not heard here, only answered by teeth." Jacob muttered, "And teeth are always waiting." The leopard surged upward, claws raking bark, tearing life into dust. The monkey's scream tore through the storm, sharp and ragged. Amelia whispered, "It sounds like it begs the sky itself." Daniel's face hardened. The sky only gives lightning. Thunder rolled, a drumbeat to the chase. The monkey swung wildly, fur streaming with rain, eyes wide with hopeless hope. Jacob said, "The forest doesn't care what bleeds. It only drinks." Amelia's tears mixed with storm water, "But we care." Daniel's jaw trembled. Caring changes nothing. The leopard pounced again, jaws snapping close enough to scatter droplets from the monkey's soaked fur. The canopy bent low, like it too might break. The monkey landed on a broken branch, wood groaning beneath its frail weight. Amelia whispered, "It can't hold." Daniel said, "Neither can time." Jacob muttered, "Both are fragile." The leopard moved closer, claws clicking like death's footsteps. Amelia pressed her trembling hand to her chest. "It has no path left." Daniel's gaze fixed hard. "There's always a path, even if it's straight into jaws." The monkey stared downward, chest quaking, the ground below a grave waiting. The storm's howl drowned the sound of its cries, but not the terror written in its trembling limbs. Jacob said, "The wild corners everything. Prey, predator, even us." Amelia's whisper cracked, "It doesn't deserve this." Daniel's face darkened. "Deserve has no place here." Lightning crashed, illuminating predator and prey, locked in frozen tableau. The forest groaned, bearing witness as one life clung against inevitability. The chase pressed toward breaking point. The monkey screamed again, voice shredded but alive. Amelia cried, "It won't survive the next strike." Daniel's voice low, "Then it must endure one more." Jacob muttered, "Endurance is a cruel master." The leopard shifted, muscles rippling, crouched to strike. The storm tore branches free, raining fragments into the abyss below. Amelia whispered, "It's trapped." Daniel's eyes darkened. Trapped doesn't mean finished. The monkey pressed closer to the branch, claws sinking into wet bark, chest heaving like a fire about to die. Jacob said, Every end is written before it happens. Amelia shook her head, voice trembling, but we still hope. Daniel whispered, hope is all that keeps us watching. Lightning split the sky, illuminating predator mid-lunge, prey cornered, and 3 witnesses paralyzed beneath the canopy of judgment. The storm shifted, not weaker but stranger, as if the forest leaned in to whisper secrets. The leopard paused mid-stalk, not striking, but staring with eyes that burned with something deeper than hunger. Amelia whispered, why doesn't it kill? Daniel's brows furrowed, because killing is not the only law here. Jacob muttered, sometimes hunger hides truth. The monkey trembled, its eyes meeting predator's gaze, not just prey to hunter, but something locked in recognition. Amelia's breath caught, it hesitates. Daniel's voice low, hesitation is its own story. Jacob's tone hardened, or its own cruelty. The leopard's body quivered, muscles tense, but its tail flicked slower, almost reluctant. Amelia whispered, it looks burdened. Daniel said, every predator carries its own hunger, but some carry more. Lightning flared again, and for a moment, its shadow seemed doubled. Amelia's voice cracked, it's not just a hunter, it's a mother. The revelation struck harder than thunder. Amelia whispered, she hunts, but she carries life too. Daniel's tone turned grim, a mother hunts because she must. Jacob muttered, necessity is sharper than fangs. The leopard shifted, belly low, and Amelia caught sight of the faint swell beneath her ribs. The monkey shrieked again, not knowing it faced hunger born from another life waiting unseen. Amelia's tears spilled, she kills to keep her own alive. Daniel said, that's the cruel symmetry of the wild. Jacob's gaze hardened, mercy doesn't live here, only exchange. The forest shook with wind, bending branches like bending truths. Amelia whispered, I pitied the prey, but now I pity her. Daniel's voice cut like stone, pity doesn't stop blood. Lightning cracked, painting her silhouette. Hunter, mother, survival bound in one fragile truth. The monkey's screams carried pain, but the leopard's silence carried weight heavier still. Amelia whispered, she's no monster, she's desperate. Daniel's voice sharp, desperation doesn't blunt claws. Jacob said, it sharpens them. The canopy shivered, leaves tumbling, as if the jungle itself bore witness. The monkey shifted, eyes wide, unaware of the truth written in the predator's body. Amelia pressed her palms together, whispering, she fights for her unborn. Daniel muttered, and the monkey fights for its life. Both are true, both are cruel. Jacob's gaze narrowed. Every survival is built on another's loss. Lightning burst above, rain scattering in silver sheets. Amelia's voice cracked. How can I fear her when I see her pain? Daniel said, because her pain still kills. The predator crouched lower, eyes shimmering with hunger and burden. Both, and the storm seemed to bow in reverence. The storm thrashed louder, yet within the chaos came clarity. Amelia whispered, she's bound by the same law, the law of protecting what she cannot lose. Daniel said, that law has no kindness, only sacrifice. Jacob's voice deep, her child's hunger writes this hunt. The monkey trembled, claws digging deeper into soaked bark, unaware it was not just prey but part of a larger survival. Amelia's breath shook. Every choice is loss for another. Daniel muttered, that is balance. Cruel balance, but balance all the same. The leopard's eyes locked again. Steady, unrelenting, carrying both need and sorrow. Lightning carved her silhouette against the sky, a queen of hunger and desperation. Amelia pressed closer to Daniel, whispering, I thought her a shadow. Now I see her as mother. Daniel said, the wild doesn't ask what we see. It only demands its price. The truth crushed heavier than thunder. Amelia whispered, she kills not for herself, but for what waits unseen. Daniel's voice low, that is the wild. Mercy cannot exist where mouths must be fed. Jacob muttered, life demands another's ending. The monkey shook violently, body near collapse, fighting for seconds that might outlast teeth. Amelia's tears fell freely. I see her, and I see myself, forced to fight for what I love. Daniel's gaze was hard. Then you see the forest's truth. There are no villains here. Jacob's tone was final, only survivors and sacrifices. The leopard crouched lower, closer, a storm given flesh. The monkey screamed again, a fragile spark against the storm. Amelia whispered, one fights for tomorrow, the other fights for today. Lightning flared once more, and both were etched in immortal contrast. The canopy cracked like a bone splitting, thunder chasing the sound across the jungle. The monkey screamed as it hurled itself into empty space, fur plastered to its trembling frame. Amelia cried, it has no ground, no mercy left to stand on. Daniel barked, it leaps because stillness is death. Jacob's voice was low, and the forest never spares the still. The leopard surged after it, every muscle coiled, tail slicing air like a blade. Rain exploded downward, masking predator and prey in silver curtains. The monkey twisted midair, claws reaching at nothing, eyes burning with frantic light. Amelia whispered, every leap could be its last. Daniel said, every leap is survival. Jacob muttered, or surrender dressed as courage. Lightning cracked, illuminating predator and prey, suspended in impossible defiance. The forest held its breath, and time bent to watch them. Amelia sobbed, the wild rites without mercy. Daniel whispered, and without pause. The monkey landed on slick bark, claws slipping, branch bending dangerously low. Amelia gasped, it cannot hold another second. Daniel's voice snapped, seconds are the only currency it has left. Jacob muttered, currency already stolen by the storm. The leopard roared, a sound cutting deeper than thunder, hunger boiling out of silence. Amelia cried, she is not just hunger, she is need. Daniel said, need sharpens every tooth. Jacob growled, and dulls nothing in the end. The monkey scrambled upward, chest burning, rain streaking from its fur like silver threads. The branch sagged further, wood groaning under betrayal. Amelia whispered, the forest bends to break it. Daniel said, it bends to break us all. Jacob's tone was grim, survival balances on wood and will. Lightning split the sky, each strike a drumbeat, predator climbing faster than breath itself. Amelia whispered, this is the storm's verdict. The chase narrowed to a razor's edge. The monkey dashed across a narrow branch, legs shaking, claws slipping with each frantic step. Amelia cried, the branch cannot last. Daniel said, neither can it. Jacob's voice thundered, this is the breaking point. The leopard exploded forward, claws tearing bark, speed terrifying in its elegance. Amelia's hand covered her mouth, sobbing. It begs for a mercy that will never come. Daniel's jaw tightened. Mercy is not written here. Jacob said, only endings are. The monkey shrieked, its cry splitting the storm, its small frame stretched like lightning itself. The leopard's body blurred, hunger blazing, tail slicing like fire. Amelia whispered, please let it escape. Daniel said, escape is a word without meaning here. Jacob muttered, survival has only two endings. Lightning struck close, the storm illuminating the inevitable clash. The branch cracked and snapped, the sound louder than thunder. The monkey tumbled, arms flailing, eyes wild with horror. Amelia screamed, no. Daniel shouted, watch. Jacob roared, this is the end. The leopard leapt with it, golden eyes aflame, claws raking the storm. Predator and prey fell together, entwined in gravity's cruel embrace. Amelia sobbed, they fall as one. Daniel's voice cut sharp, because survival ties them together. Jacob muttered, one's fall is another's crown. The monkey's claws caught at broken vines, scraping thin salvation. The leopard twisted, tail whipping, adjusting midair, even in falling, master of her kill. Amelia cried, only one will rise. Daniel said, the forest has already chosen. Lightning burst, freezing predator and prey in an immortal moment of collision. The jungle's roar swallowed the sound, leaving only the sight of falling fate. The monkey caught a vine, body snapping taut, chest heaving, scream ragged but alive. Amelia gasped, "It holds still!" Daniel shouted, "For one last chance." Jacob muttered, "But chance is thin." The leopard landed below, claws raking wood, tail slicing air, eyes burning brighter. Amelia sobbed, "She will not stop." Daniel whispered, "No mother ever does." Jacob said, "Nor does prey, until silence takes it." The monkey swung wildly, vine straining under storm, for dripping silver sparks and lightning flashes. The leopard lunged again, hunger made flesh, speed faster than fear. Amelia's voice cracked, "This is the end." Daniel's eyes were hard, "The end is survival's truth." Jacob's tone cut deep, "Survival is always written in blood." Lightning struck above, freezing predator and prey together. One desperate, one relentless, the forest's silent witness. The storm quieted, leaving only dripping leaves and a canopy broken like shattered glass. The monkey clung, chest rattling, eyes glassy but alive. Amelia whispered, "It breathes still." Daniel said, "Breath is the last measure of defiance." Jacob muttered, "Defiance soon runs dry." The leopard crouched below, eyes locked, her body dripping rain, her hunger patient. Amelia trembled. She will try again. Daniel's jaw clenched because she must. Jacob said, "Every ending feeds another beginning." The monkey whimpered, no scream left, only shivers. Amelia whispered, "The forest waits for its choice." Daniel said, "And choice here is only illusion." Lightning faded, thunder rolling far away. Jacob's voice was grave. "The silence after storms is more dangerous than the storm itself." Amelia cried, "This stillness feels heavier than chaos." Daniel said, "Because chaos ends, stillness is forever." The forest settled into silence, broken only by the drip of rain through fractured leaves. The monkey's claws slipped, weak muscles trembling, each second a fight against gravity. Amelia gasped, "It is too weak now." Daniel said, "Weakness is not yet surrender." Jacob's tone was flat, but weakness cannot last in this place. The leopard crept forward along the lower branches, her body low, golden eyes gleaming like twin lanterns of inevitability. Amelia whispered, "She waits for the moment it cannot resist." Daniel's voice hardened, "She waits for truth." Jacob muttered, "And truth always favors her kind." The monkey's breath rattled, its chest barely rising against the storm's remnants. Amelia's tears mixed with rain, "I want it to survive." Daniel's jaw clenched, "Want is nothing here." Jacob said, "The canopy bends for no prayer." The jungle breathed heavy, every branch bowed under the weight of inevitability. The monkey dragged itself upward, each movement shaking, its thin frame collapsing onto a branch. Amelia whispered, "It still tries." Daniel said, "Because trying is all it has left." Jacob muttered, "And trying does not change endings." The leopard stood motionless, eyes locked, her hunger patient, her need endless. Amelia's tears fell. "I see no monster. I see two lives chained by need." Daniel's voice low, "Survival is always chains, and one must break." Jacob said, "The weaker link always shatters." The monkey coughed, breath shallow, eyes dim, yet its claws dug deeper into bark. Amelia whispered, "It refuses to give up." Daniel's jaw tightened. "Refusal cannot stop jaws." Jacob muttered, "But it can delay them." Rain slowed, dripping steady like a clock, counting seconds that remained. Amelia sobbed, "Its story is almost finished." Daniel's eyes lowered, "Every story ends here." The leopard advanced slowly, each step deliberate, tail steady, golden eyes glowing with certainty. Amelia's breath caught. "She does not rush." Daniel said, "Because the end is already hers." Jacob muttered, "Patience sharpens her more than claws." The monkey raised its head, eyes dull but not broken, body trembling like a leaf against wind. Amelia whispered, It cannot give up even when nothing is left, Daniel said. And that is why we remain. Jacob's tone darkened. Hope always outlives flesh. The leopard crouched lower, muscles rippling, stormlight glinting across her wet fur. Lightning flickered faintly in the distance, sketching her silhouette against the pale sky. Amelia clutched Daniel's arm, voice trembling. I cannot watch this. Daniel's voice cracked, but the forest demands that we do. Silence grew, pressing harder than the storm, time itself pausing on the edge of fate. The silence cracked. The leopard lunged, her body exploding forward, claws slicing air, hunger roaring. The monkey shrieked, high and broken, scrambling but too late. Amelia screamed, "No!" Daniel shouted, "It ends now!" Jacob muttered, "Every story must." Predator and prey collided, the forest bending to watch its eternal truth. The monkey's scream shattered, cut short into silence as claws raked fur, blood mixing with rain. Amelia sobbed, the forest chose. Daniel's voice was hollow, it always does. Jacob said, survival does not weigh fairness, only necessity. The storm rumbled far away, but here the jungle was still, witness to sacrifice. Amelia's tears streamed. Why does it hurt so much when it is natural? Daniel whispered, because we see ourselves in both. The leopard stood tall, victorious, her breath heavy, her hunger momentarily quieted, the canopy echoing with absence. The jungle fell silent, storm broken, branches sagging with rain. The leopard crouched over her kill, chest rising, slow eyes unblinking. Amelia whispered, "It is finished." Daniel said, "No, it only continues." Jacob muttered, "One life ends, another waits." The monkey's body lay still, its scream gone, yet the air held its echo. Amelia's hands shook. The forest swallowed its voice, but not its presence. Daniel's jaw clenched, the ghost remains, as reminder. Jacob said, "Every canopy remembers screams." Lightning flickered faintly, far away, as though memory itself was lit. Amelia sobbed, "I cannot stop hearing it." Daniel said, "You should not. It is the truth." Jacob's tone heavy. Truth carves deeper than claws. Silence grew thicker, heavier than thunder. Amelia whispered, "Its end is etched into me." Daniel's eyes dimmed, and that is survival's echo. The leopard did not roar, she fed, each bite slow and precise, a hymn to necessity. Amelia whispered, "It is not cruelty, it is duty." Daniel said, "Duty written in blood." Jacob muttered, and sealed in silence. Pale light filtered through broken canopy, soft against destruction. The leopard's body curled low, guarding her meal, golden eyes steady. Amelia's tears flowed. The monkey's fight is ended, but not its story. Daniel said, "Stories never save lives." Jacob replied, "But they remember them." The air was heavy with rain and blood, two scents woven together. Amelia whispered, "She feeds her future with another's end." Daniel said, "That is the law." Jacob added, "And the law is eternal." Silence thickened, no longer storm-born, but memory-born. Amelia's voice cracked, the wild leaves no clean ending. Daniel said, "Only absolute ones." The canopy swayed lightly, as though mourning. Amelia whispered, "Even the trees bow." Daniel said, "They bow only to storms." Jacob muttered, "Or perhaps to memory." The leopard raised her head, golden eyes blazing, her breath heavy. Amelia's tears trembled. She is both predator and protector. Daniel said, "The wild makes them one." Jacob's tone firm, "The law holds no separation." The monkey's silence pressed deeper, though its scream echoed faint across memory. Amelia whispered, "I still hear it." Daniel said, "Echoes live longer than voices." Jacob added, "And longer than flesh." The forest darkened slightly as the clouds lingered, light breaking only in fragments. Amelia's breath shook. "I cannot forget this." Daniel said, "You are not meant to." Jacob muttered, "Forgetting is weakness, remembering is survival." The silence was louder than thunder had been. Amelia whispered, "The forest takes but never apologizes." Daniel said, "It owes nothing." Jacob muttered, "Debt is not a word here." The leopard licked her fur, body trembling but steady, bound by unborn life. Amelia's breath quivered. "I pity her and fear her both." Daniel said, "That is the right response." Jacob said, "Fear and pity keep us honest." The monkey's body lay still, yet its struggle lived in every shattered branch. Amelia whispered, "Its scream lingers in me." Daniel said, "It should. That is the cost." Jacob muttered, "The forest never hides truths, only we hide from them." Rain softened into mist, air thick with memory. Amelia cried softly, "I feel carved open." Daniel whispered, "Because nature carves all who watch." The story ended not with sound, but silence. The leopard curled around her kill, golden eyes unblinking, guarding what she had won. Amelia whispered, "This is the echo." Daniel said, "The echo of every hunt." Jacob muttered, "The echo that never dies." The monkey's scream, though gone, seemed etched into the very air. Amelia's tears fell. "I will always hear it." Daniel whispered, "So will the forest." Jacob said, "Because silence carries further than sound." The storm faded, dawn breaking pale and cold through mist. Amelia whispered, "It ends, but it never leaves." Daniel said, "That is survival's legacy." Jacob added, "That is the truth carved eternal." The forest did not move, did not sigh, did not cleanse itself. It only endured, holding predators' stare as the last image. Amelia bowed her head, unable to meet the gaze. Daniel's jaw tightened. Jacob stood still, heavy with silence.